Colorado's population is expected to grow by 10% over the next 5 years. Denver has become one of the top cities for young professionals. But Denver's urban growth has come at a cost, especially to homeless people living on the streets downtown. Since the enactment of the Denver camping ban in 2012, it is now illegal to shelter on the streets. And in an effort to clear the streets of homeless people, the city of Denver performed a set of sweeps in March.
Happening tomorrow, the city of Denver will begin posting flyers warning some of the homeless population to move off of the sidewalks. The focus will be on camps set up in the area of Lawrence and Park Avenue West in the Ballpark neighborhood.
Developing tonight, the official notice is going up tomorrow morning. Denver is getting ready to clear homeless camps downtown.
Homeless camps are the tarps and the tents that the city wants to clean up from areas here near the Samaritan House, the Denver Rescue Mission.
Now at 6 o'clock, street sweepers, police, and deputies move in to take down homeless camps in Denver.
The city of Denver announced that they would throw away debris and collect personal belongings to be held at a warehouse for 30 days. Officers were supposed to write a retrieval ticket to reclaim belongings, but people who tried to retrieve their belongings often weren't present when the sweeps occurred.
You won't let us film because although they have nothing to hide about their practices of picking up your stuff, they will not allow any cameras inside to see how they handle your material, your personal belongings, or your life. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. They're destroying people's stuff. They ain't holding it for a month. They're destroying it before a month. Is whenever it gets in the way. Yeah. Either that, they're going through and taking it home.
So they don't have that stuff. But there, if you weren't with it, then your name's not attached to it. So you got to give them a date and where you were at, and were you with someone else that might have claimed it was theirs. Okay, so they're looking for it now. But if you weren't there, you don't even know that they took it, right? So, how long were you away from your stuff before you realized it was gone?
2 hours? Just
2 hours? Okay. So someone could have taken it away from there, but in that time frame before they came.
I don't believe anybody do that. If they come to me, look there, sir. I'm sorry. I don't believe it.
The city of Denver claimed the sweeps were necessary to eliminate unsafe and unsanitary conditions, and that anyone moved off the streets could stay in the available shelter beds, citing statements that shelters are not at capacity. But Denver Homeless Out Loud, an advocacy organization that works to promote the homeless voice, known better as D-Hole, contests this statement. D-Hole says the city lists just under 1,500 emergency shelter beds and mats. The 2015 point-in-time count, known to be an undercount, counted 3,456 people experiencing homelessness in Denver City on one night. If you do the math, that is 9 people for every 4 shelter beds. Bottom line, if every person sleeping on the streets of Denver tried to sleep in the shelters tonight, there would be room. Still, whether or not shelter beds are available, some homeless people say they'd rather stay on the streets because the shelter conditions aren't humane.
It's terrible. Shelters, like I said, was so overcrowded and so full of disease and unsanitary and stuff. The way they got it now is with the scheduling between the shelters that feed and stuff or shower. You spend most of your day in a line to either eat, shower, or get clothes. But if you have any type of property that you can't bring in, because a lot of them won't let you bring in extra stuff like all your bedding and stuff like that, if it's left on the sidewalks, the cops steal it and throw it away. So you're screwed by the cops for even having a sleeping bag, and screwed by the shelters because you can't bring it in. So it's like, I don't know, something's got to change.
Low-income housing is another proposed alternative to sleeping on the streets. While a good proposition, low-income housing is not feasible in the changing Denver economic landscape. Both housing and construction have dramatically increased since 2010. Housing is simply no longer affordable for many people in the city. The National Low-Income Housing Coalition claims that a person must earn an hourly wage of more than $19 full-time to make the fair market rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in Colorado. Denver acknowledges there is a shortage of affordable housing units. The local news found that Denver has more than 22,000 applicants for fewer than 1,000 affordable housing vouchers.
If you get on a housing list to get low-income housing or something like that, it's 2.5, 3 year waiting list. So what are you supposed to do with no income other than maybe $180, $190 a month in food stamps? Because you're waiting on your disability or some type of assistance. So what do? Move along. I'm tired of moving along. More people that are homeless need to tell them that it's our constitutional right to be able to sit down and rest, or even take a nap if we want to someplace, as long as it's public property. It's like they're taking away our rights, and a lot of people are letting them. And it's like, we need to stand up and tell them, no, we ain't going. If we are going, you're going to provide a place for us to go.
Housing is too expensive. Shelters aren't healthy solutions. There's a shortage of low-income housing, and homeless people are not allowed to sleep or rest in public space. So what are they supposed to do? No one seems to have an answer. Equal created a tiny homes village, dubbed Resurrection Village after Martin Luther King's Poor People's Campaign. The village was meant to be a safe and affordable solution to the housing shortage, but because of the camping ban, police continually tore down the village and ejected people from the camp.
I've been a struggling addict. I'm 34 years old. I've been a struggling addict since I was like 14 years old, 15 years old. I've been out of prison for 4 months. I've been on methamphetamine for almost 4 months. I resolved to be a recovering addict about 13, 14 days ago. But if it wasn't for coming here 3 days ago, 4 days ago, whatever it's been now, I'd easily, I'm sure a lot of people in the community have seen me run around in the middle of the night, all night, every night, and I slept in the middle of the mall every day. This gives me a place to be around people that care about being clean, that care about being safe, that care about being healthy, and it's helping me.
DeHole wants Denver to legalize tiny homes as a solution for housing and to set aside publicly owned land for tiny homes and people experiencing homelessness. DeHole is also working on repealing the camping ban by enacting the Right to Rest House Bill. Right to Rest failed this February for the second year in a row, losing by a vote of 6-5. DeHole will try the bill again next year. The bill has 5 main components: the right to move freely, rest, sleep, and protect oneself from the elements in public spaces, to occupy a legally parked vehicle, to privacy of property in public space, to have food in public space, and eventually to have access to hygiene facilities. The battle for space continues to be a problem. The city of Denver continues to align with business interests, and the homeless voice is continually silenced. We need to make homelessness visible, and we need to include everyone's voice in our community.
I really think the mayor needs to get off his wallet and come down here and try being homeless for 1 week. If he tried it for 1 week, that $24 million or whatever it was that they gave him to get rid of the homeless, I bet he'd get some low-income housing for the homeless. The mayor, he's more worried about his image and how the public perceives him, and he just wants the problem to go away. We're not going anywhere, dude. We have nowhere to go.
We demand that the mayor end the sweeps immediately and stop the confiscation of people's belongings, and that we repeal the camping ban and pass a right to survive, and that we, instead of spending money criminalizing homelessness, spend that money on homes that are publicly funded and to use underutilized land for spaces for alternative housing. These are immediate options that we can do right now.